Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making banana chocolate chip muffins. So is that something that you're interested in? Please stay tuned and I will show you how I make them. And don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos. I will leave the exact recipe in the description box. This makes 6 extra large muffins or 12 smaller regular size muffins. You will need 2 eggs, 4 large bananas. You will need some measuring spoons. You will need 2/3 cup milk, a cup of vegetable oil, 6 tablespoons of baking powder, salt, 4 cups of flour, 2/3 cups of brown sugar, and a variety of chocolate chips. You will also need 2 large mixing bowls. Here I will be mixing all of the wet ingredients together, and then I will be mixing all of the dry ingredients together. You will need to mix all the wet ingredients first, get all the bananas mashed together, and get the eggs mixed in. And then you will want to mix all the dry ingredients together, making sure that the brown sugar is broken up since you use packed cups of brown sugar. And then once everything is mixed separately, then you will mix everything together in a bowl until it gets to be really sticky. And then once you have got your dough really sticky, that is when you add in your mix-ins. I use just a variety of chocolate chips that we have on hand, but you could also add nuts or other berries if you choose to make your muffins not just banana, but you could add in strawberries or anything that you prefer. We just do bananas and chocolate chips in our house, so you can go ahead and mix in whatever it is that you would like to have mixed in. Here I'm just giving you an overview of me smashing up the bananas. You want to make sure that you smash them really well so that you don't have huge chunks of bananas throughout your muffins, so that they are banana all the way through. Here I am now doing all of the dry ingredients in another bowl. I'm getting all of the flour, and I will put in the brown sugar. You want to make sure it's packed brown sugar, and baking soda, salt, and you will mix all of that together, and you will make sure that everything is mixed, including the brown sugar. You want to break it up so that you don't actually see any of the brown sugar anymore in there. You do not want clumps of that in your muffins because it doesn't taste very good. So just make sure that you give it a really thorough mixing. I just use a fork and break up everything, or a spoon, and make sure that it's really broken up before I mix in the wet ingredients. Just make sure that you don't see any of the brown sugar anymore. Here I'm going to mix the 2 bowls together now. I'm pouring the banana mixture into the flour. I know there's probably a more professional way to do this, or you're supposed to do wet into dry or dry into wet. I don't know. I just kind of do it however I do it, whichever one is in the bigger bowl, I guess. So I'm just mixing it until the batter gets really sticky. You're going for a very sticky consistency. That's how you know everything is mixed together well and you have everything kind of in there correctly. And then as soon as I get it to a nice sticky consistency, I will put in my chocolate chips. And this I just eyeball based on kind of what it looks like. We love chocolate chips in our banana muffins, so I usually put quite a bit in there. But it's all up to your preference. You could just put them on top. You could mix them in. It's all up to your preference. So this part is just kind of an eyeball as to what you would prefer in your own muffins. So go ahead and just add what you would like in there. Once you have your mixture ready, you're going to get out your muffin pan. This is one of those 6-pan muffins. It's the bigger ones. I use the Pam cooking spray, and I just put it on the bottom of the pan. And then I go ahead and I start scooping into each one. I just use 2 spoons and kind of eyeball them until they're all even. If you are using the smaller pans, then obviously you wouldn't have to fill them as much as I am filling them. These I fill quite a bit because I make 6 of the really large muffins. But if you're going for the 12 smaller ones, or you're going to split it up differently, you wouldn't have to fill these nearly as much. But as far as these go, I just fill them until they're all just about equal, when all the batter in my bowl is gone. And then once I put I have them all even, I add a few little chocolate chips just to the top of each one, just to add a little something, a little extra chocolate to the top. You could always add berries or nuts, anything that you would like, you could add to the top as well. Otherwise, you could just leave it and just add in your mixture and go from there. I have not tried this with those liners, so I'm not sure exactly how that would go. I just use a nonstick pan and put the Pam spray on the bottom, but you could always put them in liners and put them in the freezer or something that way too if you wanted to. So otherwise, just go ahead and fill them depending on how many you are going to use. And then we will put them in our preheated oven, which is preheated to 400 degrees. And with these 6 larger muffins, my oven, it takes 38 minutes. I know with smaller muffins or maybe half a batch, it could take about 28 minutes. So you might have to play with the temperature a little bit. Maybe start at the 28 and then go from there depending on your oven. I know everyone's oven is really different. So you could over or undercook them. So you kind of have to play with it a little bit. I've had to change the timing on this just a little bit because I used to do less, and as I've made bigger batches, I do have to add more time. So just make sure that you are using a toothpick and checking the consistency on the inside of the muffins when you take them out to make sure that they are fully done before you go ahead and eat them. Just be mindful that the temperature in people's ovens can change, the timing can change based on how many muffins you're doing as well. So just be aware of that. Otherwise, again, at a 400 degree temperature oven, and I'm doing mine for 38 minutes. Now that the muffin pan is full, I am going to go and head over to my oven. I've got it preheated to 400 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on the top shelf in my oven. And I'm going to set the timer on the oven for 38 minutes. And then I will take them out and they should be good to go. And when the timer is up, here is the finished product on the muffins that I made. Again, I made the 6 giant muffins. They turn out really great. The top gets really crispy. The inside is really moist and delicious.